I've been reading Psalm 91 this morning. I'd just like to read a little bit to you now. Starting at verse 1. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord who is my refuge, no harm will befall you, no disaster will come near your tent, for He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. And it just goes on, and the whole psalm is about God's protection and how He looks after us. And it's just reminded me actually of a time when I wasn't even saved, how the Lord looked after me. And I just wanted to share it because it might encourage some other people, especially young people, because it's going back to a time when I was 12 years old, when I was at school, in my first year at secondary school. I'm not sure in other countries how the schooling works, but in the UK you start secondary school age 11 and you have your 12th birthday in that year. And I think I was 12 years old, and at school somebody had written something really nasty on the desk about another girl who was a couple of years older, and they'd done it in the same pen that I'd written something in, and I got the blame for it. And of course she was angry, and I remember that day, even despite saying I hadn't done it, I remember that day walking home from school with a big group of people following me, and so I can hear some noise outside my door, but I'm going to carry on anyway. The big group of people following me, and I had one friend with me, and there was a group following, quite a big mob actually, because you know what school children are like. They like a fight, they like something to watch. I didn't want a fight, so I just wanted to get home in one piece. So I walked home with my friend, and although I wasn't a Christian, I had been to Sunday school, and I did know that there was a God. I did know that if I asked Him for help, I just did it. It was in me to do that, and I said, Lord, You've got to help me. And as we walked past another school, a car drove out. This girl had already, I think she'd hit me by that point, and the mob were getting quite excited at the thought of looking at a fight. But a car drove out, and a teacher from the school, not my school, another school, said get in. So I got in that car, and she drove me right out of the situation. And just looking back now, I know that the Lord was there, and I know He helped me with that. So I just want to encourage anybody, any young person or old person, if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling threatened, ask the Lord. Obviously, you do everything practically you can to get out of that situation. But when you're stuck, God is there, even if you're not saved. I'm not saying He doesn't want you saved, but I'm saying He's a compassionate God. So do cry out to Him, do believe He's there, and He can help on a practical level. It's just a couple of examples came to mind as well from the Bible when I started to think about God's protection. I mean, the men in the fiery furnace is a prime example, isn't it? And that was a total supernatural miracle, because they were thrown in the fire and they came out the other side without even being burned. But how about Jesus, when He walked straight through an angry mob who wanted to kill Him, but it wasn't the time and they couldn't do anything to Him, He just walked straight through? That was a miracle. And then if you look into the Old Testament, you can see all the battles, how God delivered His people and saved them. And also another one, if you go into Genesis, you can see the situation with Lot, when there was an angry mob trying to break down his door, and the Lord struck them with blindness. And we've got a kind and compassionate God, but when people are threatening His people, there's great evil coming against them, He does help, He does stand up for His people. And just looking back at how He helped me before I was even saved, I realised how kind and compassionate He is. And I just want to encourage everybody, young or old, to put their trust in Him, not just for a one-off situation, but for your salvation. Trust Him. He's there, He's able to help you, and all the promises in the Bible are true. And God is there for you, and He does protect. And I've just been so encouraged just looking back and remembering again, because we are in a dangerous world, and we do need to know what we have in Christ. So I just encourage you to pray for yourselves, to cover yourselves, and pray for your families as well. I know that God is with you, and He will answer those prayers.